I'm sure you did that on the start of every single video. just bang the drim. The drim. Just bang the drim.
Oh, we're starting.
We're live, B. You're just there on your phone. These men are just doing their own thing over here.
Boy.
If you want to do the intro, we can do the intro still.
Doom, 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 doom.
I don't know every notice of different.
Oh, shout out Eyes on Me, Mr. Heat as well for the intro, because that's your song.
That is my song.
Like, I just took it and told you I'm using it. So, big shout out to you. So, anytime you hear that at the start, this dear man produced that one, yeah? We got a new one coming as well, but I want to try and keep that audio. But we got a new visuals coming, drone and them thing looking
Didn't
proper.
you vocal my beat though, as well? Once upon a time.
Yeah,
With
yeah,
and
we done the video. No, it was the one we did the video. That was for your college project.
College, put some respect
Uni.
Okay.
You're about
Sorry.
to sue me. Huh? You're about to sue me.
No, man.
Bring out a case.
Listen, don't get emotional. All right. With that said.
Should men cry?
With that said,
With that said,
subject we're going to talk about next is a very cliche subject, and it is males' emotions. Should men cry? Is it okay for a man to cry?
Listen, yeah.
man was straight in.
He took a deep breath as well.
Listen, I thought about this for a quick second, and I mean a quick
I
second.
know you've had a good cry still. Yeah, you've had some good cries. Anyway, now let's go. Let's go.
No,
Let's go.
talk, man.
I know,
Talk
I
his
know.
truth.
No, what I was gonna say is, yeah, girls are gonna say, yeah, men should be like in touch with their emotions, but I can guarantee you, as soon as the man gets upset and starts crying, the next time she starts to piss him off, she's gonna say, "Oh, you're gonna start crying again." You little moist, and you know it,
Like you did last time.
Exactly that. Exactly that. You know it.
You signed hurt.
Oh, vindictive. And I'm not saying that because I've experienced it, because I haven't. But like I said, I thought about it quick. And the way our girls work,
Yes.
they will flip that on you
Quick.
instantly. Quick. You're gonna cry again. You need to call your mum.
You ain't a real man.
Exactly.
Men don't cry.
Exactly. And then in
you
the
just
same-
telling me cry last week, though.
in
Not
the
saying
same
people,
breath,
yeah.
they're like, "You're so cold and heartless." You'd be like, why the fuck do you think?
Because if I cry,
You gonna call me a bitch. You know it.
gotta be confident. Yeah, we just got that one quick. Yeah, you got emotional. You got in there quick.
Nah, I flipped that in my head quick, and you know how chicks work, man. I've had enough experience with them.
So what about just for yourself though? Like, what about just for you? Like, sometimes you need to just hold a cry. Sometimes.
I do. My grandparents died. That's probably the main reason I like get upset.
Yeah. But I think
I
that's.
hold that to myself though mainly.
But I think that's something that not even that warrants, but like that's understandable.
Yeah. And I
Like
don't think people
death
would
and
ever
mourning,
feel-
that's like that comes with it. Like if you don't, then not that there's something wrong, because not everyone does, but that's the way you deal with that. But just general day-to-day lives, like, are you crying? Are people crying out here day to day?
So I feel like we need to break that down a little piece more, though.
Break it down.
Go on.
But just a question. Because it started off with, is it okay for men to be emotional? Is it okay for men to cry?
Yeah.
Two different things.
Okay.
In the sense of...
No, it's like emotions.
Yeah, it will show emotions kind of thing. That I feel like... For me personally, I feel like, yeah, do what you do. Humans are humans at the end of the day. But with the kind of stigma attached to it and the whole men shouldn't cry, but it's like on the flip side of that, men should... Because of the whole stigma, that the whole macho man kind of thing, men won't show their emotions. Not to say necessarily just cry, but to release some of the kind of whatever negative energies it is that makes them want to, that leads to crying. Is, again, the crying is probably a build-up of stuff.
Yeah.
But that stage before, in terms of just releasing some of the things, having conversations, like us having conversations now, not just podcasts, but for any situation that would make me want to cry, would I, as a man, go and talk to the man them about that situation, kind of thing. I think that's also something that needs to be kind of touched on, kind of thing. Which, in generations and that, I feel like it's something that's kind of, it has the same reaction to it as if a man cries. Which again, you should be free to do what you want to do. If you want to cry, hold the cry.
But then, as like you were saying, like it's a generational thing. Like I was told straight up, man don't cry. Like, you know, I was from the straight up, chest.
Boys don't cry. Right.
Like that, like, you know, that
Fine.
you were told that from I don't know,
early
probably,
days.
early.
What you mean that cut going from your knee to your ankle is a big cut? That's a little scratch. Men don't
What, your
cry.
legs off? You don't matter. You don't cry. Hold that.
Suck
When
that
you're
up.
like 4 or 5 years old, tumbleweed, bust up your leg, get up, boys don't cry. That's what you get told, and that's what you learn to.
And it's installed. I was gonna say that. So
it
with
is.
your boys, are you like that with them?
I think I was earlier, like, because that's how I was brought up. Do you know what I mean?
Of
so,
course.
like, naturally, it's just like, get up, you're boys don't cry, you're a big boy. But I'm not trying to say, like, boys don't cry. I'm trying to maybe, like, divert their attention from the pain so they don't cry, because I don't really want to deal with it.
So that's
because
that's the next thing we're gonna get on, but we'll get on to that
Not
after.
because, like, I'm trying to make them a stranger to their emotions. Do you know what I mean? It's because I don't want to deal with a crying kid, mainly.
Yeah. It's hard
But
work.
I try and encourage them to, like, talk and stuff like that.
So do you think that's something that we didn't have from our older generation through no fault of their own? Like, we wasn't told to express our emotions. It was more like we had to deal with it. Now you have to deal with it.
Basically.
Yeah.
If you think way back as well, children should be seen and not heard.
Yeah.
But way back to that as well. And it's only, like, recently started to die out. And some parents still think like that now.
I think it's a
Well,
very cultured thing as well. I think it comes a lot down to our culture.
Yeah.
And kind of like the upbringing of the culture around how we were brought up is like a very, you do not cry. Like, that's what we're told. So I think obviously we've brought that into our adult life. So who's crying around here? Who's crying?
Yo, I'm gonna tell you, I cry, but I'm not one of those guys gonna be like tear crying over every little thing. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got something going on and you're at home and you might hold it. Cry, innit? A good crying session, 20 minutes or so.
That's
And
a
you
good
man-
sit.
About 20 minutes.
And then,
But
you man up. Then you man up and you deal with it. You know
Life
what I mean?
is stressful, man. Like, shit gets to you, and then, like, it's a coping mechanism that's, like, installed in you. Like, you can't control it. If that's how you feel and that's how you deal with it, that's how you deal with it.
Yeah, one of my biggest cry was, I think it was 2012, 2013.
Biggest cry.
I know you were
No, in public. This-
Shit.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Obviously,
Okay, yeah.
my granddad
When
wasn't
did
well.
this Britney Spears
Yeah, my granddad wasn't well, and next minute we were trying to get to Jamaica. I got to Jamaica.
Yeah.
As soon as I get off the plane, granddad dead. You know what I mean? That
But
was
see,
the old
But I think them things,
Family
like,
ties
and I'm
is
not,
different,
I'm not like warranting it because it doesn't, like, it's not. But I think like them things,
More relatable.
there's no, like, you can't hold it.
Yeah,
like, I'm talking about like,
Watching Titanic.
yeah, or like your eye, or like something's bad's going on in your life. To you might have a bad day at work.
Someone's called your name.
Yeah, like them things. Obviously, like them things, anyone can relate to. But like you've had a bad day at work, things are getting on top, whatever. You just go home and just think, you know what? Ugh! Like, I think I deal with things like an anger way. Like, I'm not a crier. I rarely, if any, cry. I'm more of an anger person, but that's me. That's my own problems. So that's the way I would release something. Or I just go quiet and deal with it my own way.
I used to be angry, but then, like, but I think that's because I didn't want to cry.
Yeah.
So then I'd rather just, like, hold a tear, think about it.
Every man must have had that.
Yo,
But is that crying? You know, the sniffle, and you just have little.
Because you're trying to bring the tear back up. Yo, brother,
You know,
you're
but
not
then
getting that in my face.
But then that falls into that whole planted kind of seed of man up, men don't cry kind of thing. Which
And
would
that's the
have had
thought
from
that
you.
always goes through your head as well. Man up,
Yeah.
man up, man up.
Yeah, but you think that, innit? Like,
Yeah.
you think that.
Yeah,
Like,
but
there's,
that's because that's what you're told.
like there's been times on, like, football pitch, and I got kicked down, legs bleeding, I feel like it's in half, and, you know, I'm just... You know, but then you know the angry cry. That's even worse. You know, like where you're angry, you're so angry that you just can't.
Kid.
Yeah, like you can't help it. And then someone might say to you, "Brother, you crying? No, I ain't crying." like them ones are worse.
I'm a crier. Like somebody could thump me in the face and I won't cry.
It
But
depends,
if I'm going through something emotional, behind closed door, I'm crying.
That's good though.
And and a few times, even I've watched a film, you know what I mean, at times, and I'm, like people around me and something emotional come on that film, and you know the tears start to
the last one
come
that made
drop
me
down your eye, and then people around you, and you're
that's what I
thinking,
think.
quick wiping that, you know what I mean? I've done that, you know.
Yeah.
Well,
You know what
I'm
film
sick with
beat
film
me
still.
up? Yo, the Hate You Give. Oh my gosh, that film beat me up. I was like, I couldn't even hold it back, but only because like I just seen so much real related to like my own child, and just I just related so much.
That's one I need to watch.
You know, like to me, it related so much, and about how I feel like we're fighting oppression, and how we're being treated. Like that really touched on my soul. So that one, and that like I had to
when
hold
a
a
film
cry.
resonates with you, then you're gonna feel emotion.
But then even music, like I could actually be in my car driving, and listen to music and just. But it's not a cry, you know, like it's not like a.
That's what I'm
free
saying.
what they
That's
say,
not a
you're
cry.
right.
It's just like you just kick back and you just kind of relax and you're like, rah.
That's deep.
You know, you take that
Yeah,
deep
but
breath.
that's what I'm saying. That's not a cry though. That's what I'm saying. That's a little
that's
different.
yeah.
And I suppose it's one of them. When you say cry, you're talking about a good stream of tears.
Nah,
or just,
the
or
Hate
just
You
because-
Give, I was
With the music thing, it's more
I
like
think-
a more burst of emotion that's jumping to you, and you're feeling like that emotion, but I won't say
Overwhelmed,
that's a
didn't
cry.
it? Overwhelmed with
by that
emotion.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I think the last film that made me feel like that I watched recently called The Help. That was deep.
Okay, I haven't watched that, but I've
That's
seen.
one to watch, but that was good. Before that, is it the Central Park 5?
Yeah, that was. That just made me angry.
I refuse to watch that
Made me
film.
angry and just like it just touched like because you understand, didn't it?
Yeah. When you can relate to something,
Not that
but
I
that's.
cried, but I was like overwhelmed, like you said.
But then, will you? So, if your friend's telling you about something they're going through, are you able to relate to them and cry? Because we're not, are we?
What do you mean?
So, like, if you come to me upset
Yeah.
and you told me what's going on,
I think
It's
as
not-
a boy, you're not gonna be crying when your friends crying.
But
You
that's
know,
Just
what-
one of this.
we
If
might
I see
even-
any of the squad cry, then I'm
then
laughing.
that's what I'm saying. But we might actually
laugh.
relate.
Yeah.
But we might actually really relate to what they're saying. Like,
But we're
like
not
you
gonna
said,
cry
like,
I think-
like a family member could pass away and they're really upset. They're telling us their pain, even though we relate to that pain. We're not then gonna like cry like how you would on a film
I feel
where you
like-
don't know no one.
Yeah, like I feel like if I was upset and I went to the man them, I know why I'm going to the man them because I know they're gonna stop me from crying. Because if I come to you, if I'm feeling like I'm gonna cry and I'm like, look, this and this happened, you'll be like, come on, pussy, old man.
Yeah, big man.
Yeah, exactly.
Fix up
And then
first.
yeah, exactly. And
The
then,
only time I would cry if someone else is crying is if it's the females in my life and they're going through something, then they're crying, then I
Okay.
might want to cry. But if a man's crying, I'm not crying with him. You know what I mean?
yeah.
That's a different
That's
situation.
it, that's what I'm saying. We go
Like, I'm
to
not
the-
talking about like sitting down holding hands and having a good cry. I'm just saying, obviously, we relate to
Brother, let
things
me
that.
borrow your shoulder quick.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
just
Yeah.
hold Leo,
Like,
hold
it's
Leo.
not like that with man them. We
No.
come round, like you said, but come on, big man. It's a different mentality, it's a different mood, and you go to your friends because you want them to uplift you. You don't want to cry.
Do you know, even with that, like, because that's what my kind of whole reaction to crying is I have the angry something as well that I'd much rather take out something more with anger, or mine is distraction.
Yeah.
Like mine, the biggest thing to stop me from crying is distract my mind from whatever. And I think what you're saying there is that that's one of the things where you can go to the squad. You know, you can go to the squad with your situation, and you're going to get way distracted because man, them are going to run you straight away anyway. but it's going to be done in a way that's going to distract you from the actual
And you've
route.
already premeditated that, and that's why you go into the group chat.
Yeah.
Because you're like, right. And you know, man, them are just going to be like, listen.
Yeah, you know.
XYZ.
Yeah.
You already know what we are. Yeah, we already know what it is. But the thing is, a lot of the time, like when man them do come into the group chat with emotions, it's because of girls. Like, you don't really bring. I guess you don't really like. You don't try and grab something from someone like when it is the death of like a family member or something. Like you kind of do keep that with you and your family. You might talk to someone about it, but you don't look for like emotional support from one of your friends, but you do kind of when it becomes to
Unless
girls.
they're close to the family.
Unless they're part of the family and they know. But when it comes to girls, it seems like, we go to the man them.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like you said, we need that barrier. And then also need to be told,
support,
like, yo, big man, fix up. It's not that deep.
Yeah,
That
I know
being said-
sometimes you need to hear that because you'll
yeah.
get
Every
caught
time
in a
you
hole-
need
you'll
to
get-
hear that still.
You'll get caught in a hole. You'll dig yourself
Yeah.
into a hole and
Yeah.
like overthink stuff, overprocess stuff, and then shit starts
Needs
to
a
get on
friend
top.
like heat.
That being said, yeah, obviously with my Bristol friends, because I've grown up with them from, like 11 years old, and that on the emotional side, I'm different to probably you guys because
Yeah.
I've grown up with you guys from probably
Older.
manhood. Yeah, older. So like, if my Bristol friends are going through something emotional, I'm probably going to see that emotional, feel that emotional side because obviously we've grown up as boys and like certain people they know or family members, then I'm going to feel that emotion with them and carry like if one of my friends from Bristol, when they're struggling with something, I kind of feel it hits me deep.
Yeah,
Even though it hits me deep with you mans anyway, but with them, because I've grown up with them as youths, it's a different kind of emotion and maybe because of that level of connection we've had,
Yeah.
it's a different.
Yeah, it's always
You
deeper
know,
when
yeah.
you know people from like
Yeah.
kids. do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
kinda
When you
same
grew up with
'cause
someone.
you lot are my boys still, but you know that I got my boys, the ones that I grew up with from like 4 or 5. So like there's stuff that we would have went through before I even met you, man. So
Exactly.
yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Connection's
That's,
deeper,
yeah.
So do you look to them guys for emotional support, or is that still the same
Yeah,
thing?
I look, whatever I feel comfortable with, I would look for emotional support, regardless of, and it's whether I think I'm going to get that best constructive feedback from and stuff like that. Then I will look for that emotional support. If I know that someone's going to take it seriously and stuff like that. Yes, there's sometimes certain things can be joked about, and then certain things can't be joked about. Yeah.
It's a deep one, isn't it? It's a deep one.
It is.
It's a deep
And
one.
it's knowing your friends as well and knowing who you can take your problems to. Because certain people are gonna give different reactions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you ain't gonna go to heat if you got stress and trouble. He's just gonna mock you.
No, but you know what? No, but I do have to large you up because
Yeah, there's certain
like
conversations.
He's
there
got a
was
logical
there was
head on
time.
him,
Nah, there was times when I was going through some madness, yeah, and this is the only brother that could calm me down. Why I don't know.
Talk
Yeah,
sense sometimes.
I don't know, but it wasn't even that.
Sometimes,
but
you
it wasn't
know.
even like you was talking. So I don't know what it was.
Do you know what it is?
It was just you remember, man. I was pacing.
Yeah, it's
20 yards up and down the road, ready to do a
Without
madness.
talking the advice that I'm giving, my whole thing is what I try to be is I don't want to be that one to tell you everything's going to be all right. And you're coming to me for emotional support, but I don't want to then feed your emotions by either petting you or trying
of
to kick
course.
you down. I'm
That's
just
what I'm
trying to
saying,
be,
you're logical, bro. Where you
non-emotionless. Let's say it how it is without the emotion involved. And
Yeah.
if you can see it from that, then it will hopefully take you out of the emotion. Because at the end of the day, emotion clouds. It clouds judgment.
No,
And
I
it's
remember,
that-
brother, do you want to go prison? I don't care. I'll go prison today. Yeah? I'll go but do you really want to go prison? I'll go prison, yeah? Like, that's how the conversation went. Like, I'll go prison today. Yeah?
like-
and like, there weren't no reaction. It wasn't like, it was like, but do you really want to go?
You
and I'm
really
on some, not really, but I will, yeah?
Yeah. And then on the flip side, you got those friends that's like, come, let's go do this now.
Like, I
And
think
then,
I'm
you
one of
know,
them. To be fair.
you know,
I'm like, yo, brother, if you need
sometimes,
me,
yeah,
let me know. We'll
Sometimes
do
they're
this.
good in certain situations, but like situations like that, if you could
Make
end
him.
up-
I would have made a mistake that day.
Yeah, exactly.
Anything any anger I would have went in that situation with would have been a mistake.
Yeah.
Whether it was words, whether it was physical, whether it was myself, it would have been a mistake.
Yeah.
So yeah, at the time, that was what I needed.
It's mad because I would have liked to have seen it. You know, that's the deep down inside of me. But then, yeah, man, I have to do the brethren thing and that. So after,
Yeah, I think with heat, like group chat heat, no. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Group chat heat, no. Like, but if you're with heat and then you're just chatting and then if things get on a level, then it's calm,
group
innit?
chat.
But group chat, no.
But that's because he's from a group chat. We're not part fuck Hexstar shit. Jacket. That's because you're from that group chat.
yeah,
Corn
but
cannon look.
That's what I'm saying. He's
Oh,
in
no,
every
but
group
no,
chat.
even in the group chat, like, what's it? As much as I kind of take that energy into our group chat, I still try to use that energy when it comes to that kind of support in the sense of that energy comes from a place of no emotion. Like, no matter kind of what you're going through, you can see a joke in every situation. So instead of seeing the sadness in it, I just try to always point towards a joke. It's always going to be a joke thing, even if you getting annoyed at what I'm saying is that you're thinking, oh, he's a dickhead. Oh, he's this, he's that. Why is he chat so much? At least in that, you're not thinking about whatever madness is making you want, get emotional, cry, whatever. So again, diversion, distraction tactics kind of thing.
Or
So
you just add fuel to the fire.
nah, yeah, but
Ours gets
still,
burned
yeah.
down next.
I mean,
Ours get burned down instead of one.
I'm sorry.
wow, I try and I try. God loves a trier. So.
Well, it works in some circumstances, isn't it?
I mean, we wouldn't be doing this right now if what I did didn't work.
Yeah, they wouldn't
be
have
doing
stopped.
at least a 5 stretch.
Yeah, I would have been doing a madness if I'm honest. I did about 55 paces of the road. Up and down. But anyway, we digress. That's something completely different. We're back on the should man be crying. So, are you happy to cry in front of your friends? Like, obviously not right now in this situation. But if you are going through something, you might be doing something, are you embarrassed to cry?
There's different kinds.
Like now.
There's different kinds of crying.
And I'm not talking. Obviously, we talked about the family member and that. That is something that's understandable, and no one's ever gonna say anything about that. But you are going through a bad time, work, girls.
I feel like a little tear running on the cheek. Then yeah, but if you're doing a full on bawling, then it's a different situation.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna be doing that in front of my friends.
Setting the scene, yeah. You go uptown, yeah. Your girl's out. You see your girl winding up on next man, and you're with your boys. Yeah. Okay. Are you gonna get emotional and cry about it? What are you gonna do? Is it acceptable?
No.
But I don't think that's. I don't know if that's an emotional thing.
I've seen man ball because
I've been out before,
emotion.
and some guy's girl wouldn't leave the club, so we left, and he's ringing her. She won't leave the club. I'm on some, alright, cool, you just see her when you get home. The brother sat outside the club crying. To me, that was mad. For number one, I thought, brother, there's 6 or 7 of us, and you're just sat outside the club crying. To me, that was kind of mad. I'm happy that he's happy with that. And number 2, no, but I'm do your thing, innit?
Yeah.
And then number 2, I was thinking, why are you even crying because she's in the club? Yeah. To me, that doesn't, if she's in there doing something with someone else, alright, that might be a bit more understandable. He's only crying because she won't come out.
Yeah, but maybe there's a deeper thing to it.
There
maybe
must
she's
be.
cheated on him in the past. Maybe there's somebody in there that he thinks is going to have a thing with, and he's thinking, she don't want to leave because so-and-so.
But then all of that, I get all of that, but then you shouldn't be with the girl.
Why didn't he go back inside?
Because it was when it's past the time you can go in. So we come from somewhere else.
Oh, it's seen, they wouldn't let you in.
Yeah, they would. So we sat outside. It's Liquid. He sat outside Liquid, by the bus stop, just crying, just on his own. And I'm like,
that's deep still.
So for me, that was I thought, all right, cool. I'm not gonna judge because, like I said, he's doing his thing. But I didn't to me that didn't seem something that you should cry for. Yeah. But like you said, it may be a lot deeper than that, and he may be just happy to show his emotions. Why am I to judge? Because I wouldn't cry. I lick down the banks or go in the yard. Oh, I turned off. Deep. Let me try.
Yeah, you need to sort your back.
But then, what if you get clapped? You're out with the man and you get thumped in the face.
I'm not balling,
but
man.
what?
I'm holding that thump.
This is what we're talking as in barling, crying.
Whatever.
Because I feel if you
get angry, cry. If it hurts, maybe you might just be like, fuck.
Yeah, I can't say I've ever been thumped down in the club or anything like that. But but I feel like that's one of them ones that it would. I suppose in the scheme of things, we're talking emotion. Then emotion's going through the roof. But I can't say that I'm gonna hold a box and then start crying and then go to the band them kind of thing. So that's one of them again, red mist kind of things. I suppose that's a kind of different shoe if you're in this kind of conversation. I feel like if you get boxed in the face and you're with your man there,
angry crying.
Yeah. Because then I feel like no matter what, the man them, they ain't trying to. If you get boxed in the face, the man them ain't trying to say to you, just hold the box, calm down. You didn't mean to do it.
Lick him back.
The man them are just as vexed as you. Probably not as vexed, but they're saying, okay, yeah, it's time for a big group fight, whatever. Who is it you did it? Let's scope them out, kind of thing, So, you just know it's about to get a bit peak after that. So, yeah. Well, go on.
But now.
Done out.
There we go. Your batteries,
crying, no, I feel like just go with it, man. Sometimes you just have to let shit flow, man. Otherwise, it just builds up. It builds up, and
feel
then
like
it might
age
come
too.
out
Yeah.
in a way you don't really want it to. Do you know what I mean, shit builds up.
Yeah.
I mean, how long can you fill a glass of water before it starts spilling out?
See them philosophies
I
there.
know, but-
Man
yeah.
just dropped a philosophy.
For real. Like,
It's true though, man. Like sometimes you just have to let it out before it gets too much, and that's
true.
where like breakdowns happen, innit?
Yeah.
Start lashing
Mental
out at
breakdowns
your,
and
start lashing out at your
you see
girl
that?
just because she
Did
don't
you
make
did you
a
have
cup of
that
tea.
kind of way of thinking 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago? And that's what I was going to say. I
Growth,
think-
though, innit?
Yeah,
Growth and
a lot of
experience,
that
innit?
comes in growth in terms of letting out your emotions or being acceptant of other people letting out their emotions. Like right now, if one of you man was to start bawling, first of all, obviously we know me that I'm gonna hold a good laugh. I'm gonna hold a good laugh.
Yo.
But at the same time,
Like,
at
you're
my
right,
age
bro.
now, yeah, it's gonna be one of them. Like 5-10 years ago, if you was to start crying in front of me, group chat is on fire.
You're trying to get them slide pictures in.
And I
But
think as
now
well-
I'm looking at, if you start crying now, like there would actually be certain a bit more kind of genuinely concerned, like okay, we're man at our age kind of thing. We've gone
Yeah,
through a
yeah,
lot,
yeah.
so for you to for something to actually make you cry or get emotional like that, it's got to be something quite it's got to be something quite deep because we've all lived life and gone through whatever we've gone
Like you
through
said,
and
I
that.
think,
So
I think that's growth and experience
Yeah.
on like learning to deal with certain situations. I think like maybe 10 years ago, if someone started crying in front of me, I probably wouldn't know how to deal with that anyway. So I'd just be like,
But that's what I was gonna say. So the next thing is like how you deal with someone that's crying as well.
Yeah.
Like when someone is crying, like most people don't really know how to deal with that.
and I
Like
think,
some people's got the hug and the oh my gosh everything will be alright.
Yeah.
I'm the complete opposite. Like I'm the if you're crying innit? Like I listen.
I'm one of these. Look at you just.
I'll listen. I'll speak with you.
But you're still
I'll try
crying
and
over there,
work
is it?
out, but I'm never gonna go in for the hug
I'm not
and tell you
very-
everything's gonna be okay.
I'm not very empathetic either.
No,
man.
yeah. So
Like,
that's where I
it just
struggle.
doesn't-
Don't
Yeah,
crease
I-
at my clothes with your tears.
don't wet me up.
Yeah, don't
But
wet
like
me
sometimes
Wet me
people
up.
say, "Oh, I just need a hug," and I'm like, "Okay, I'll go and get someone for you." Nah, joke. But I'm just saying, "Okay, that's
No,
fine."
that's
Depends on
what I'm
the
like,
setting,
though.
like-
I'm not very empathetic, and people are like, why can't you just give me a hug? And I'm just like,
Nah, see that
I just don't feel
I'm
it.
empathetic, not sympathetic. I think like the hug and all that. That's like sympathetic. You're taking in the sadness kind of thing. I think empathetic.
You watched the
is,
video, innit?
Huh?
You watched the video, innit?
What video is this?
Oh, you haven't. The empathetic, sympathetic. Where they talk about going down a hole.
No, I haven't still.
Okay, say no more.
I'm
I was just gonna say with the empathy and sympathy. I feel like sympathy. You're gonna take that hug in. You're gonna take in some of their energy, whatever. But you're gonna take it.
maybe
with the empathy.
hugging
like-
someone is more, I feel like it's your energy. Like, of
That's what I'm
warmth.
saying.
It's giving them that.
But you're
feeling of
directly
security.
using your energy to console in whatever way that person. Whereas empathy is you're not using your energy, but you're just kind of saying, you know what, you're sad. I feel sorry for you. I'm not directly going to give you my energy, but I feel sorry for the situation
you don't have
that
to hug
you're
somebody
in.
to
But
be
I don't
empathetic.
necessarily, I don't necessarily feel sorry for you because that would take some of my energy to feel sorry for you, in the nicest possible way, kind of thing. But yeah, it's one of them. I'm not trying to.
Yeah, I don't think.
Unless it's related to me, I'm not trying to be all hugging up and giving my energy. And then next thing you know, we're both there crying. And I don't
So
even
that's
know
what the
I'm
video's
crying.
like.
Yeah.
That's what the video says, mate.
What, two people just crying for no
No,
reason?
one person's down a hole. They
Yeah.
said to be sympathy, you go down that hole with them. Empathy, you try and get them out of the hole.
Yeah.
That's what you basically said.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. You must have watched
I'm
it.
not trying to get in that hole with you, man.
in
Like,
this situation,
but I'm
like,
not trying to help you out of it either. I'll just,
come on.
I'll just watch from a distance until it's calm.
Oh, he
And I'll be
crying
like-
down there. He really crying.
Yeah,
He crying.
but I think I just struggle to show it because inside I'm like, I want to help you.
Yeah.
But like I just have something that just
No, I'm exactly the same.
that just stops me. But in my head I'm like, are you alright?
Yeah, no, I'm exactly the same. But
Like, in my head,
for
I'm
that to
giving
come
you a
out of
hug.
my,
It just-
that to come out doesn't come
It's
out.
like a wall. It
In
just
my head,
stops.
I'm like, oh no, I really should do something. You need to
Yeah.
do something. Do it.
But you just
And then my face is like this. like I swear down, that's the truth. That's how it works.
and then you just stand there. You just froze.
Yeah.
Like I can't. I've always been like that.
I have as well.
Giving them the awkward look. Just.
Yeah, just looking.
Especially after like if I argue with my girl and then she starts bawling.
Yeah, yeah.
And then she's like, why can't you just give me a hug? And in my head I'm thinking, it's because you fucking pissed me off. I don't want to touch you. Like, get away from me. But
No,
then
I'm
you
the
see,
same.
But then you see other guys and they're like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to shout. And they give them a hug. And I'm
Do you know what? I do that now because I need to.
Yeah.
I don't do it because I feel it.
Because you don't, yeah.
Like, I do it now because I need to. There's nothing in me that says, right, you need to go and give someone a hug. It's like,
It's the
you
right
better.
thing to do.
Like, just do it. And, just do it. Like, that's how I feel. Like, I don't, like you said, some people are like, oh my gosh, I'm really sorry. For me, it's just like, I'll do it now because it's the right thing to do.
Yeah, that's where I've got to. It's a barrier that sometimes I can't get over. But
Yeah. Well, it's growth as well, isn't it?
Yeah, sometimes I'm like, I don't even say anything. I'll just like flop an arm.
Yeah, you just stroke a leg. It's okay. Yeah, nod. And close your eyes. No, it's hard times, man. It's hard times.
I think I've learned to like give someone a hug and stuff like that. Before, when I was younger, I was thinking, I don't know what to do. Seeing somebody cry, should I hug them? Should I not?
It's an
But
experience
I think
in itself,
I've
man.
learned.
Learning how to deal with someone that's upset. It's not
Yeah, and I think it's a proper good quality as well.
knowing the right thing to say.
Man, them are crying. You're not getting a hug, man. But, no.
Well, you never hug no man that's crying.
But if it's a
Nope.
In no circumstance.
Has there ever
I've
been-
never hugged no one that's crying.
My brother,
Yo.
my brother,
Yeah.
like when my granddad died.
Yo, one man them, I went to the yard, brother. I said, yo, brother, hold man tight, embrace. Yeah, I mean, that was deep though. It was deep. It was a deep thing for him, obviously, not for me. But yeah, sometimes, come here with that emotional shit. That's enough of that emotional shit.
Yeah. Fix the
But
fuck
see,
up.
that to me, that was like, and like I was saying, but to me, that was right. Like, that was mad. Like we're saying, like that thing that I have, like, where I can't do it. But in that situation, it felt so normal.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't even feel weird.
I think it's
Like,
the
I don't
thing-
feel he felt weird. Like, it was literally like,
It's one of them.
it was one of them. Like, I felt his pain.
Yeah,
I
situations
think
of
that's
growth,
the
innit?
thing as well.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
you're
with
being
situations and growth.
depending on what your own emotion is at the time as well. Like I said, if you're arguing with someone and they're like, "Why can't you hug me? I'm mad at you. I don't want to hug you." Do you know what I mean? And being able to push that emotion aside and just be like, "Okay, I'm sorry."
But for me,
Sometimes-
that
But if
doesn't...
you're not sorry,
That takes,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It
If
don't
you're
do
not
nothing
sorry,
for
yeah,
me.
if you're not sorry, and they're like, why didn't you hug me? Whatever. That to me, that's the whole sympathy, empathy. So you're now giving yourself, you're putting yourself into the pit when you're not really sorry.
Yeah.
As such, so instead of you both going down, instead of you both elevating up, you're going down.
half out the pit.
That's what I'm saying. Whereas to me, empathy is more of a getting out the pit. I like that analogy. I want to watch it certain.
Yeah, watch the video. I watched it a few times
Yeah,
still.
I'm gonna watch that.
And basically, if you're angry at somebody, you're not dealing with your emotions, but you're giving them that hug, and it's like covering it over.
Yeah, you're still angry.
Yeah, you cover it
but
over.
you're
Sometimes I've been there like,
holding, just getting a
You
chokehold.
ever done the one arm? The one arm, just
yeah, heads back.
yeah.
Oh, gosh.
But you have to, though, especially when you got kids. Like, if you got kids and they break something, like if I tell my son, stop jumping on the chair, you're gonna break it. Stop, boom, the chair's broke, and now he's crying. I'm vexed because he broke the chair, but obviously I can't be vexed because he's crying, so I have to console him. But secretly, I'm vexed because he broke the chair.
Not me.
No, he was just straight going in with the cussing.
Yeah. Told you.
Yeah, you start with
If
that.
it's an accident, like things happen, and if they break
Yeah,
something by accident, sometimes they're like, "Oh my god, I broke it," and they're upset because they broke it. I'm like, "Look, it was an accident." Then I'll console them. But if I'm like, "Stop doing that because you're gonna break it," they don't stop and they break it. Then there's got to be repercussions for just not listening.
But then what? So repercussions is your emotion, you being emotionally
it's
close
just
to them.
disciplining your child for
Okay.
not being obedient.
But if they've hurt themselves, then
Fuck 'em,
what's
yeah.
the difference between discipline and emotion?
Are you a
See, I
problem
feel
that?
like, what Rap said
No,
there,
I hear what you're saying.
yeah.
I'm not arguing with you. I'm just providing the
yeah,
point.
no.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I feel like it's that in kind of you can take it for the example. Obviously, growing the kids and all that. It's like if you want to keep jumping up on something and break it, and then you all of a sudden you try to do it, putting the equivalent into doing that same action later in life, which you've never had the repercussion for, and then that action and leads to your death kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's like as a parent, like you should have. Yeah, all those times I told you to stop jumping on the chair. Now you want to jump on the airplane wing, and now look at you.
Jump on an airplane wing, you know.
That's it. That's
Randomly get out the door.
That's exaggerated, but I mean that would be
Like, all those
something.
times
Yeah.
I told you to stop and you didn't stop, and then I didn't punish you for it. Like as you get older, that mentality is going to be bred in you. So it's just like, wow, there's never been repercussions for me doing bad, so I'm still going to do bad. But then as you get older, like police get involved, like things become more serious as you get older. So, I mean, so you got to have that. And even if they have hurt themselves, I think I deal with the discipline first. I'm like, get out, sit on the step, sit in the corner. I don't want to see you.
Of course, unless
Bones
poking
unless
through the
there's
arm.
a bone
Yeah.
poking through or there's some blood's
Yeah.
calm, like they're not dead.
But did you die though?
But did you die? No. And then like I'll let the situation calm down, clean up the mess if there's mess. Do you know what I mean? And then I'll be like, "Are you alright?" And then it's like, "Do you understand now why I told you to stop?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
See,
That's how-
so I think now, not before, but now I would start with do you see why, like, obviously you've hurt yourself, now do you see why? Like, I wouldn't do the discipline thing first.
Yeah.
Like, before I would, but now I have to learn to kind of change my way of thinking.
Yeah.
But that's just me personally. Obviously, everyone's
Everyone's
different.
different.
Like, some people break something and get beaten even when they're crying.
Yeah.
like they're bleeding, their bones out, and they're getting beaten.
Jump on the chair.
Yeah.
Sit down. You look. The chair not
They're getting beat with the piece of the chair that they got broke. You know that one? So, but that's what I'm saying. So it works both ways.
Yeah, exactly.
So I wasn't
But-
that deep, but I feel like I got angry quick.
Right, is the end
So now
result
I'm
the
so-
same? That's all that matters.
Well, now they got
End
two
result.
injuries. One from dropping and one from the beating.
But next time, yeah, you see a chair, you're gonna think maybe.
Yeah, don't jump on it. It's not even about the breaking or the hurting myself. It's the beating I'm gonna receive for
Exactly. and
breaking it.
that's, yeah, exactly. That's what was in my head when I was a kid, man. I don't want to get beat, so I ain't gonna break it.
Yeah, no. See, then there you go. It works both ways. It works both ways.
about
Right,
the
we
result?
we run all over the place with that one
I
again.
know.
This is what happens on the podcast.
What was the conversation even that we started
Like,
with?
should men
Men
cry?
And we're talking about beating.
They got a bit emotional, innit? We needed to up that. We needed to
Spice it up a little bit.
because in a minute we're gonna come by R and them things.
Come on, just holding the one cry on Dale's shoulder. They were stroking his head.
we didn't know what happened. It was out of nowhere. We don't know what happened. Where that went left.
But nah, saying that though, man, if I'm there, man. If people wanna cry, I don't care.
Yeah, I know.
You gotta let it go, man. Like some people won't be. But nah.
Nah, yeah, I would never judge you, man. Like, I might run a joke at the start, and it might be a laughing joke, but then that's between us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
I wouldn't be like,
Remember that time we
yeah, I wouldn't then go to group chat and like, yo, brother, my man's here again. But snot in
cheated
his
on him
nose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man out slept. He got the little green stuff in his
Man
eye.
used all of my tissue paper blowing out his dirty nose. I don't even know what he's crying over this time either as well, you know.
Yeah, same thing again. Yo, brother, same thing again. Same
Same
thing
thing.
again. Nah, but all jokes aside, nah, it's true.
Man,
Right, yeah, man. We're
Yeah, man,
emotional.
feel
We're
right
emotional.
now.
We're
Same,
emotional
man.
people, man.
That there.
And we need to embrace our emotions before it's too late, and we need to make sure that we show our kids that it's okay to embrace their emotions.
There's nothing wrong with a man crying, just like there's nothing wrong with being a macho man
Yeah.
kind of thing. Being both.
But there's a time and a place for everything.
That there.
You can't be
Timing
moist
is
though,
everything.
you know what I mean? You can't be moist like
Yeah,
bars
yeah,
and
yeah. That's what I'm saying. There's obviously a difference with the crying. Like
There's
if
a
you're
level
crying
to
over
it,
everything,
man.
you know,
Yeah.
shoelaces are undone, so you start crying. But what's it? Pass the sell-by date, so you start crying. You know them
but
kind
then,
of
you know, just
moist
throw that-
brothers.
throw
Someone
the camel's
flicks your,
back and all
flicks your
that.
arm and you start crying. But you know, time and a place in that. So yeah, time and a place.
So
but
we're,
yeah,
all, so
embrace
we're all
emotion.
in real agreement that it's okay
Agreement?
for a man to die.
I'm just trying
Die.
to be like
Die.
Raps. To die.
You mean
Cry. You know what it was? Because you threw me off.
The cliff.
We just made a pact, lads. There you go. That's why we end this show. To cry. You threw me off.
Nah, what's it? I just thought you said agreeance.
Oh.
And I was just saying there's no such word.
Is there not?
Agreement.
Is there not such words as agreement?
Man, I make up words all the time.
If there is such a word as agreeance, then why?
agreeance?
Yeah.
I'm gonna Google that.
But I don't think there is.
Well, this guy went Tommy's. I went Central.
I
like,
mean, I don't know if that really means anything substantial like that.
that's true. We're grown.
Agreeance. Definition. The act of agreeing. Example. Usage of the site constitutes agreeance with these terms. Usage.
Yep.
Considered
One.
obsolete and bastardization of agreement.
Okay.
So it's
No,
basically.
I thought there was an
Go on,
agreement.
go on,
I
go
thought
on,
the
go on.
word
Yeah,
agreement.
yeah, okay, yeah.
It's basically a slang word for agreement.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of the same. But
Oh.
No, yeah.
Say
yeah,
no
I'm
more.
gonna say agree.
accept that.
Where
Yeah,
you
it
get
just
that from?
didn't.
The Urban Dictionary.
It just didn't flow in my vocabulary circle, you know. So I weren't sure. I never really heard of that word before, but
You
it's
have,
there.
you
It's
have to
there.
open your mind, man. There's a lot of words out there.
No, but it's even up to see what you said there about I'm a Thomas Ute and everything. That's what I'm saying. I don't mean nothing. You can go to your school.
But it's not that.
No, I know there's a lot
but
of
what
lot
GCSE
of
you
trippy
got in
people.
English?
No, there's a lot of trippy people in
No,
your
but I'm
school.
saying
My
what
brothers went
GCSEs you
there,
got? What GCSE you got in
trippy people
English?
there. What have I got in English? What did I get? I actually got a C.
See?
Yeah, I got a C and a
you
B.
know what I
C and a
got?
B still.
See yourself into summer school. Can you can't spell or read? Shit. I'll see you in summer school. That's what I got. Well, I'll see you next year. Can you be held back? That's what I got. That's the only C's I got, B. Anyway. It's been a good little wrap up, man. I'm hoping we can use this video because that video done a long time ago.
Yeah, man.
So if we could just switch it, it might look a bit different, but there's still some visuals there. And it's kind of late, man.
Yeah. My guy's ringing my phone.
That's what I say. Certain people's under immense pressure.
None of you lot are chipping in. You're helping me tidy up this place.
I have to tidy up all my stuff
man.
anyway.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
4 hands make light work, bro.
There you go. There we go. It's a wrap up. We didn't even really talk about the year, but we just talked about other things.
That needs a whole new show.
Yeah, maybe in January we'll get a couple more people and just do
we
the
still
wrap
got
up.
a week and a half of this year left.
Anything's gonna happen. No, it's true.
Boy, we ain't even hit
Still
Christmas
got the
yet.
whole vaccination.
And I
thing.
can't wait. So the next time we're hearing all you man got your vaccinations.
Ew.
Yeah.
Ew.
So my life can go back to normal.
No,
So
sir.
you get your vaccinations. So my life.
Don't. We need to put down another 30 minutes right now because
Get your vaccinations. My life could go back to normal.
Wait, is this live?
It was still there, yeah.
Okay, make all them people that are watching, whoever's watching, make you all get your vaccination so that we can go back to
So
normal.
our lives could go back to normal.
Yeah.
That's right.
And on that note, that's how we're gonna leave you.
Yeah, later.
It's been danger.
Eyes on me.
Raps.
Kaewillz.
Okay, Willy.
Aight.
Willy.